Hello, my name is Veronica Helen Perales, and I'm going to give you my self-introduction. First, let me introduce, this is my audience. It's my father, Harry, my husband, Reuben, and he has my baby brother, Charlie, and then my mom, Sharon. Like I said, my name is Veronica Helen Perales. My name is a reflection of my mom and my dad. My dad named me Veronica after his favorite female character in the comic book Archie, and Helen comes from my mom's namesake. Her name was Helen. Growing up, I hated um, my names because they were odd, and I felt like everybody made fun of me. But as my maturity level grew, so did my love of uh, my names, and I also appreciate my names now. I was born in Davenport, Iowa, but I've lived in very numerous places throughout the country. I've lived in Eugene, Oregon, Nashville, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, and Clinton, Iowa, just to name a few. Eugene, Oregon was the worst experience ever because um, every day at the same time, it seemed like a blanket was being laid over the sky, and as soon as the sky would turn dark, then the rain would come. It was just a very creepy place to live anyway. But my favorite place was Dallas because that's where I met my wonderful love of my life, Reuben. And then I had our three wonderful children. I've been in the office type work industry for all of my life, and I have over 15 years experience in that. But for the past 12 years, I've been blessed to be a stay-at-home mom, and that has been the most rewarding and yet the most challenging job I've ever held. But in today's economy, without a college education and without knowing a lot of the different ins and outs of some of the features that are new that I didn't know about, it was going to be hard in the fierce competition to sell myself out in the world. So I decided to obtain my associate's degree in office administration. So I'll graduate this after this semester, and I will also graduate as a member of Phi Theta Kappa, which is an international sorority group. Spending time with my family is the most wonderful experience for me and the most wonderful time. When we lived in Texas, my husband had to work two jobs, and we weren't able to see him very often. So when we moved to Clinton, he didn't have to work those two jobs anymore, and we're able to spend more time with him. So my husband and I developed mini vacations. And for example, we took our two youngest children and we told them that we were going to go see Santa on the runway, but yet we had to drive to Chicago to do that. So we put them in the car and we went for a rush trip to Chicago. But when we got in the parking lot, we got them out of the van and we surprised them and said that we were actually flying on the airplane. And the excitement and the enjoyment that they had made the mini vacation priceless for us. Other mini vacations include indoor water parks, Wisconsin Dells, and a yearly trip to Adventureland. Um, my favorites, I don't really have favorites, but I do have preferences. I only knew American food growing up until I met my husband, and he's Hispanic, so he introduced me to Mexican food, and now I really enjoy Mexican food more than anything. So it's Mexican food, and then I still like my country music, but it has to be the old country music, none of today's music. And soccer is my favorite sport, but I never grew up around sports, and I didn't even know what Super Bowl was or what football was until I was in high school, which is kind of weird. My favorite television shows are the Chicago Trilogy, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and they're coming out with a new one called Chicago Justice, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be another favorite of mine. Speaking in front of people, especially people I don't know, has always been hard for me. So I'm very hopeful that this course is going to uh, help me get over my stage fright, and then also to help me prepare and deliver a speech, no matter what size the crowd. And so, in conclusion, I hope that someone here has learned something about me that they didn't know before. And I thank you for being an attentive and kind and respectful audience. Here's to prove my audience is still here. I have not bored them to sleep. They're still here.